This channel is about helping people who suffer from colitis. Drop me a comment below about your colitis experience and go to my website High Carb Health for more info and a free 30-minute consultation. And don't forget, there most certainly is a life after colitis. Hello everyone, this is part 3 of Nesha's journey, so the detox experience. Thanks for joining me again, Nesha.
Hi.
So let's talk about this because we want to talk a little bit more about what you did with your medication and how you were able to kind of not go into a rapid detox. A lot of people that go through this experience, they talk about how their body detoxed quite rapidly and they went through severe symptoms of healing and a big healing crisis and or flare up, whichever way people like to talk about it. But you didn't fully experience that because you chose a different approach, and so
Mm.
discuss what you decided to do with your medication and how that helped with your journey.
Right. Okay. I didn't stop my medication because I was on 3 different medications at that time. I didn't
Mm,
stop them all at once because I didn't want a big detox. I eased off them slowly just so that my body wouldn't go into shock. Plus, I didn't want to take time off work because I was quite busy at work at that time. So I wanted to do things slowly, even if it meant taking it a little bit slower and a little bit longer.
mm,
Um, I did manage to wean off the medication slowly, very, very slowly. And I found that it was a lot easier on me mentally and physically because I didn't do it as, like Shamiz did it all at once. I couldn't do that.
mm,
Um, so it was for anybody out there who's afraid to give up their medication. My suggestion would be to do it slowly, rather
mm,
than just going cold turkey because it is hard on your body and hard on your
mm,
system if you just stop it completely all at once.
mm. Yeah, it's also important to make sure you just don't, because these are pretty strong medications and you've got a very severe condition. So, um, you know, it's important that you also make sure that you know what you're doing, like how fast to do it and um, what to eat while you're taking off the medication. Make sure you don't, rapidly go into it. I think we talked about all of those things. So discuss a little bit about, what we discussed in terms of um, what you need to be eating during the transition phase and all those things as well.
Hmm. So transition phase again, it was introducing vegetables slowly, potatoes and bananas and smoothies for breakfast.
Mm,
Um, it it was it was a it was it got a little bit easier because you get used to the flavors and you get used to the way
mm,
you cook the food. And in the beginning, it's hard because you're not allowed any sauces, any spices. And if you're the kind of person who's used to all of that, it is quite difficult in the beginning. But with time, it gets easier. You just have to keep telling yourself every day, you're healing, you're healing, you're healing. You have to have that right mindset. The
mm,
transitional diet a lot easier going with you guys than it was in the book because, like I said previously, you tweaked it a little bit. So you were
mm,
able to allow me to eat certain things that the book doesn't allow you to eat, like certain vegetables,
mm,
certain fruits. It wasn't as strict as Dr. Klein's book is.
mm,
So it was a lot easier having your support. And I remember talking to you quite a few times about saying, "Can I eat this or can I eat that?" And you'd say, "No, don't eat this now," or "Eat this now." So
mm.
the guidance was there to help me through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when you finally got off your medication, I think it was a couple of months into the journey, um, uh, your body did go through a slight detox, didn't it? And you did have a bit of accelerated healing at that time. So talk to the audience about how that felt and what you experienced in those situations.
So I did go into a detox, but it wasn't as severe as some people, but I was still
Mm,
scared.
mm-hmm,
My bathroom visits increased to maybe about 8 times a day.
mm,
Um, mouth. I had ulcers all in my mouth and in my tongue, in my cheeks.
mm-hmm,
I got acne on my shoulders, and I haven't had acne since I was a teenager. My hair was starting to fall out a little bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
I got really bad cold twice, I think, cold sores around my lips. So, a different types of detox than I thought. So,
Mm,
in a way, it was, I don't know, I guess a detox is still a detox, but to me, that was easier to deal with than having to go to the bathroom loads of times. So, to me, it was like a blessing that I had
mm-hmm.
different ways of body detoxing. But I did
Mm-hmm.
talk to you about it, and you kept saying that your body's detoxing, and everybody's detox is different. Because
Mm,
in the beginning, I thought a detox just meant the bathroom visits. It
mm,
didn't click. It could be anything. Your body could be, detoxing in many, many, many different ways. It could be ulcers, it could be your hair falling out, it could be acne, it could be a number of things, but everybody's body is different. So I did go through that for a couple of weeks, and
mm,
then it eased off. And then it came back for a little while, and then it eased off again. It kind of went up and down a little bit, but
mm-hmm.
it was manageable. It wasn't like I was, oh my God, I'm housebound now and I can't go anywhere. It was
Mm.
manageable.
Yeah, and that was the whole point of taking it a bit slower for you because we didn't, we knew that the body still needed to go through a phase of healing, but we didn't want it to go through that kind of severe healing process that
Mm.
some people are more comfortable with doing because they have time off. They can, you know, they can rest as much as they want, and they'd prefer to heal faster.
Yeah.
Whereas for you, that was different. And okay, so and then once you were able to kind of see those waves kind of slow down, what happened? How did you realize that the body was feel like? What did you experience as the body started to feel better and better?
I started to feel well, started to feel really well, and I was starting to go to the toilet like properly and not going more than like I was going 3, 4 times, but that's normal.
Mm,
It wasn't diarrhea, it wasn't mushy, it was formed, which was good. There was no
mm,
mucus, there was no blood, there was no pain when I was going to the toilet, and it was just such a good feeling just going to the bathroom and not having to worry about having to go again 5 minutes later. And for someone
mm,
who's got colitis, they would know exactly what I mean by that. Um,
mm,
and it's really funny that you mentioned that because when I used to listen to your other people's testimonies on there, and people would say, "Oh my God, I feel so well, and I feel better than I did," and a little voice in my head would say, I don't think so. Yeah, like, oh, right, yeah, whatever. And it was like, I wasn't funny, but honestly, that was me. Like, I don't think so. But I am truly, truly blessed. Hand on heart, I honestly feel better now than I have ever done in my life. And
yeah.
no pain. I feel healthy. I feel happy. My mood's up. I feel I can do anything because I do not have the problems anymore. And
Mm,
there's no pain. There's no worry about, oh my God, will I need the toilet? Or should I be eating this or should I not be eating this? Because I have started eating other foods now, which is introducing other foods slowly into my diet.
mm,
But
mm.
you honestly, honestly, you feel so great that you cannot sum it up in a few words. You cannot.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've kind of talked about your transition phase and then your healing phase. Um, and then we go to a phase of post healing where we start to reintroduce foods back into your diet. And that's a really important phase as well because, we
Yeah.
need to kind of see how your body's coping and handling these foods. So talk a little bit about the post healing phase and how you're able to introduce foods back into your diet.
So I started introducing food slowly. So one week I had brown rice, a little bit of brown rice, and later on in the week I tried a little bit of quinoa, and then the following week I tried a little bit of chickpeas, and then the few days later I tried a little bit of kidney beans. Beans I introduced slowly, but things like sweet corn, mushrooms, like just a little bit, I started introducing that. And I've been totally fine with it because
Mm.
I was told by the doctors, you can never eat sweet corn again, you can never eat mushrooms again. And every time you have a crisis, they would say, you need to eat stodgy white rice, stodgy white bread, and everything that's bad for me, they told me to eat. And it was
Mm.
like, oh my, it's like, no, 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 don't listen to them.
Mm.
That's not the way to go. But I have introduced so many new things. I had oranges the other day, and I haven't had oranges in like over 6 months. And it was so refreshing and so nice to be able to eat something, and you're so happy to eat it because you know it's good for you, and you know it's not going to hurt you, and that your gut has healed because there's no symptoms. So I'm eating a variety of fruits now. I've introduced more. I had Brussels sprouts last week, and
Mm-hmm.
amazing. Everything just seems to just fall into place all of a sudden. It's all like
Mm.
everything is good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't do that until you heal your gut, you know? And we say to people that if you can't digest vegetables, then your gut's not healed, you know, because that is
Hmm.
the food, fruits and vegetables, if you can't digest them, then your gut has not healed. And so you need to be able to make sure that you go through that process, heal your gut, strengthen it to the point where when you introduce these new foods that are so-called bad for colitis, or Crohn's, you know, people say, "Oh, I can never eat these high fiber foods again."
Mm-hmm.
That's not understanding what the body needs because these fibers are going to feed your good bacteria, which creates
Hmm.
symbiosis in your gut. And if you don't feed your gut fiber, then you're not going to create this situation, which is what you've been able to do. And so that's why, you know, the whole process of transition was enabling your gut to start to move towards symbiosis so that when you did get off the medication, the healing process could get easier, and you could remove the toxins without having any leakage or permeability in your gut lining. And that's why the process was a little bit easier for you, because you were able to do that. Okay. But when you do heal, you can start
Mm.
to introduce foods that would have felt impossible to eat before
Yeah.
and digest them and have good bowel motions and
Hmm.
enjoy the process where it doesn't hurt you anymore. And that's when you
Yeah.
know that you've achieved a particular state of strength in your gut, healing in your gut, and you've been able to kind of establish a situation where you don't have the disease any longer. And that's where we want to be.
Mm.
You're medication free, you're symptom free. You can introduce a variety of different plant foods. And that's what the whole post healing phase is all about. So that was your experience of the detoxification and how you went through the three phases of healing your body. What we're going to discuss next is what your life is like now. So for everyone watching, stay tuned to the next part of the video where Nesh is going to describe to you what her life is like now. But if you want to see that video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification to be notified of all future videos from High Carb Health. Give this video a like, and also make sure if you have any questions to write them down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next part of Nesha's journey. Thank you.